William Galbraith Rollo Stuart Bruce, greatest author of my generation, GAOMG. I am the first and only known living direct descendant of Robert the Bruce, King of Scots, alive today in the 2025, in the 21st century. And all the proof I've posted and reached out to the University of Strathclyde to validate me. I posted like right here, my direct paternal line. I am paternally descended from Robert the Bruce, King of Scots, that nobody knew about since, June 7th, 1329. Now, 4/11, 2025, I've been proved that I am the first and only known direct descendant of Robert the Bruce. And you can just see my posts. I carry the Y-DNA, the FGC78762, and then I have his Y-DNA, the FT34517, right from the King of Scots. That's the proof right there. And then another way I can also prove I'm descended from Robert the Bruce is through the Royal Stewart of Bute, William Stewart of Fennock, with Y14197. And that is a confirmed SNP that's on the University of Strathclyde's website right now. And you can see I have that, and that shows on my Y-DNA I am descended from the Stewarts of Bute all the way down to me today. And the reason I have both the FGC78762 footprint and the Stewart's Y14197 is through intermarriage that started in Normandy and went on constantly in Scotland as well, and all of that Y-DNA is in me. So that's who I am, and does anybody at the University of Strathclyde or Scotland not understand what that Y-DNA means? It means to me. And do you think I'm going to wake up one day and forget who I am? I'm not a Michener. I'm not a Best. I am the first and only known direct paternal descendant of Robert the Bruce, King of Scots. And I've utilized all of today's Y-DNA technology to prove it. And this Y-DNA SNP is on the University of Strathclyde's website right now, confirming that I have the direct descent from William Stewart of Fennock. That's who I am. It's never going to change. I'm never going to wake up and not be the direct descendant of Robert the Bruce, King of Scots. My Y-DNA is never going to change. I'm always going to be directly descended from Robert the Bruce, King of Scots. And, I post this. 3 people looked at this, man. And I think 2 of them was me. So that means I just showed everybody that I'm the first and only known descendant of Robert the Bruce, King of Scots. And nobody knows what that means or whatever. I don't get what's going on, but I'm never going to not be me, who's a direct descendant of Robert the Bruce, King of Scots. And if you know anything about Robert the Bruce, is he's a warrior and a fighter, and you expect me to just forget, be passive or something? I have no clue what the University of Strathclyde is not acknowledging this amazing, realization, discovery that I've made. So it just goes Robert II. We can read what this is all about. Start from the top. Here is the couple different ways that I'm descended and can prove it from Robert the Bruce. My direct paternal line is the Y SNP FT34517. My Y-DNA carries the SNP FT34517, and it's a rare genetic marker from FGC78762, unique to the male descendants of Robert the Bruce, the King of Scots himself. This means I am part of the unbroken male line from the King. Stewart of Fennock, Y14197. I also carry that, found in descendants of William Stewart of Fennock, the legitimate grandson of King Robert II. And I have that Y-DNA. It's up on the University of Strathclyde's website right now, confirming that. And nobody's doing anything. This is bizarre. I'm going to be in Scotland in like 3 months, and I'm going to be in Iceland and Scandinavia. I'm going to be posting everything, like at the Blue Lagoon. Like, if nobody cares about me being the first and only descendant out of 8.1 billion people, there's one, me, that's descended directly from Robert the Bruce, King of Scots, and carries the Royal Stewart of Bute. My Y-DNA 14197 from William Stewart of Fennock. That's like unheard of. There's nobody in the world that can prove this except for me. But anyway, I'm going to be at Iceland at the Blue Lagoon posting. That'll get a lot of people to look at it. And every post, I'm going to be like, oh, and I'm also descended from Robert the Bruce, King of Scots, who descends from Rollo, the Viking, the Duke of Normandy, House of Normandy. And I'm going to be posting all of that. So Scotland, I'm not going to not be who I am. And I'm always going to be talking about who I am. And I also write about this in my trilogies. I wrote about this forever, 20 years ago. Nobody, helped me or supported me or anything. I wrote all these, no AI, all what's going on in my head. And something was pushing me and driving me. It didn't matter how to write my trilogies. And now they've all connected through my direct paternal ancestor, Robert the Bruce, King of Scots, into my second trilogy. And that's like amazing in so many levels. And I just can't believe that people are the way that people see all this. And what do? You just don't say anything. You don't share this. You don't contact the University of Strathclyde. Email that dude, Alistair. Be like, yo, you need to, validate this dude's descent. Like, this is unreal. And it just baffles me that, nobody is making, this is my direct paternal lineage. The whole thing flows. This SNP is uniquely associated with the Bruce family of Scotland, confirmed through Family Tree DNA, Bruce the DNA Project. Let's break down the crucial descent paths. A direct male line descent. I carry the rare and noble FGC78762 through FT34517, which links directly to the Bruce male line. This is the same signature lineage associated with descendants of Robert the Bruce, including identified in the Bruce DNA Project. I have confirmed, Robert the Bruce descendants that are all interwoven in my Y-DNA. Intermarried descent, and this is where the Bruces and the Stuarts intermarried from Normandy all throughout Scotland. Through a secondary line, I descend from William Stewart of Fennock, the legitimate grandson of Robert II, who is the son of Marjorie Bruce, daughter of Robert Bruce. With my SNP, Y14197, also in my genetic makeup, supports this connection through documented intermarriages among royal cousins. And I have, in writing, descendants of Alexander Stewart, the Wolf of Badenoch, confirming we share Y-DNA. I have confirmed Y-DNA shared with Tim Stewart that the University of Strathclyde put there, having Y14197, which I have as well. And there's no reason that genealogists, that the University of Strathclyde would not be reaching out to me to look at all of my DNA and validate it all. I have so much Robert the Bruce DNA in me that the one little snips that you have, there's so much DNA that builds up to have that one, William Stewart and that direct descendant from Robert the Bruce, King of Scots. So I have this and I've posted it and I'm going to continue posting it. You think I'm just going to lay down and just be like, oh, well, fucking what, dude? Anybody that doesn't support me, I know who I am. My Y-DNA speaks for itself. It tells you exactly who I am. And everybody's just seeing this, and you just sit on your fucking ass or something? Dude, email the University of Strathclyde. Make some noise, man. Help me. For 20 years, you've been watching me on YouTube. writing my books, promoting them, using all 21st century technology to, kick down the doors of Random House, of the 20th century old school traditional publishing with the new 21st century technology. Look what we can do with technology. It's pretty amazing, and I am the first and only known direct descendant of Robert the Bruce, King of Scots. Since June 7th, 1329, he's never been home to Scotland. I'm bringing Robert the Bruce home to Scotland through me in 3 months. And if I have to go to Scotland as a fake Michener, zero Michener MMA DNA in me, and zero Best, another surname, no DNA connection. All my DNA is from Robert the Bruce, King of Scots, and then through the Stuarts of Bute and William Stewart of Fennock. And it's interwoven all the way down to me. And all of my DNA just tells such an amazing story of Robert the Bruce, and it helps out all different clans. One of them also is like Boggs. That's like not a big name in Scotland. They don't even have a clan, but I have the intermarriages, one in Normandy. So the Boggs were warriors. They were fighting, for De Bruce family or fighting with us. And Alan Fitzflod. I mean, they were the elites. And then the Boggs again in Scotland, after my Y-DNA goes through Robert the Bruce, King of Scots, again, the Boggs, there's an intermarriage. And they're the ones, I can see them connected to the Hamiltons of Cadzo. They also married Matilda Gaines, my great grandmother and stuff. And Gaines is for the spelling of the last name, surname Gaines and Gaines. It all comes from David Gaum in Wales, and he comes from Welsh royalty, from the ancient kings of Wales and stuff. And that is awesome. And that's through the Boggs family. I just have them through intermarriages. My whole line is descended from Robert the Bruce, King of Scots, where the Boggs are descended from the Boggs. And then they just had an intermarriage with my royal line. Royalty from the king, Robert the Bruce, King of Scots, and royalty from Robert II and his descendants, William Stewart of Fennock. All the Y-DNA is there. I guess for the next 52 years, and my Dr. Airbender that, fixed my heart from AFib, I might be here for another 62 years, 72 years. Who knows in the future? But every day I'm going to be on vacations throughout the world posting. I'm always going to mention that I'm a direct descendant and the only one from Robert the Bruce, King of Scots. This should be a big deal in Scotland. And, it's all in front of you. Go on Wattpad, Real Naked Author, copy paste everything. You can see my DNA. You can see me go from DF27, the Iberian Peninsula, through the king, Robert the Bruce, King of Scots. So email the University of Strathclyde, tell them to validate, my lineage, and let's all celebrate, this amazing discovery that I did. I found out who I am through all of my actions and all of my books that I've been writing, and through my Y-DNA. Greatest author of my generation, utilizing all of the technology, 21st century technology, that no author in the 20th century could ever accomplish what I have. And no author ever will accomplish what I have. They're not going to come up from foster care and then to find out that they're royalty, the only known descendant of Robert the Bruce, King of Scots, and through the Stuarts of Bute, William Stewart of Fennock. So this is one of the most amazing discoveries, and I tie it all together in my trilogies. So email the University of Strathclyde, help me. Don't just watch my videos, see that I have the DNA, and you just sit there and stew. Are you just like a little angry person, dude? Come on, do something. Do something. Email the University of Strathclyde. Do something. Support the Bruce. Cheers.